Same could be said, though, of course, for Cloud9. I'm sure we'll take a look at their road down this particular best of 5, where we have a lot of vault, as no one was surprised to see, plus that red card search and destroy that you were kind of alluding towards earlier.
Yeah, neither squad has opened up on a vault hardpoint. I've so far played it in the last couple of days, so a fresh one for both of these teams. Obviously scrimming it on the back end, but if you're a Cloud9, your main focus has to be keeping up with the slaying of Optic Texas as we're early on into this P1.
Indeed the case, and it's the return of the Mac. He had played, I would say, pretty darn well considering the beatdown that the Thieves had given Cloud9 for his return to pro play. And a solid start for him here, off 2-0, and already getting some early time as Pred finally finds something to work with here for
big
Optic,
win.
and that turns into a second. Now the pinch on the way from Kenny to break the hill.
This is good stuff so far for Cloud9, though. Securing at least 15 to 16 seconds off of that P1. They're now trying to flip these spawns on their head, but Optic Texas have all their bases covered. Already 3 dead in the feed, 15 seconds, and you know exactly where Cloud9 are spawning. And this is the thing that I love about this game, is that when you see a sub getting this aggressive, the opposing sub on the opposite side, look at shots, he's just simply blocking the spawns to make the heads-up play for his team.
It's like a passing of the baton, essentially.
Yeah.
What it feels like, where you go, I'll go back, you know, just kind of playing on opposite ends of the field, and it's worked out nicely for Optic. Kremp does provide some ground to work with, though, for Cloud9 trying to flip spawns around the back, and that elimination on the Shotzzy very well may do it. Dashy trying to hold on wherever possible. Shotzzy will get blessed with these back umbrella spawns. Just comes down to, can they hold off this next threat as Cloud9 make their move? Nice challenge coming out for Optic, plus the response inside the hard point. Well received by the boys in green.
That was a great 3-2-1 call right there out of the green wall, knowing that the close spawns were going to be in for Cloud9, and even though they're still there, Optic Texas are holding down from the front end. So now Cloud9 have to find a different way to try to approach this hard point, but every single time they go from a different angle, there's a player from Optic cutting them down. Flawless so far here at the P2 with only 10 seconds still to fight for. You would take this if you're Optic. Now you start thinking about that road to new.
Yeah, Kremp able to open up the scrap 10 seconds or so for Cloud9 to work with. Motion on the map for Attach to play over towards top art. That's looking for the future, trying to set up to the left side of the minimap. Shotzzy is on the way to try to contest this, and he will also have Kenny spawning with him. Shots from Attach up top give away his position, and Texas will find the kills. Now it's just down to, can you move forward and collect the eliminations that you need to open up the hard point.
And look at the spawn coming in from Dashy as well. He's going to be blessed with a free pinch spawn over at Gold. That's a freebie onto Attach. You give the info to your teammates that they have to be playing around the middle of the map. But at the same time, Cloud9 have completely disregarded this hard point, trying to play for that spawn anew. Mac versus Shotzzy, a big one-on-one on the back end.
Yeah, and the shots go back and forth, and that will be won by Optic once again. So there's the spawns. Left to right they go. Optic spawning on the favored side. 23 seconds to fight for over P3. Sib moving forward. He had a slow start at 1 and 5, but has picked it up lately. Can only open with 1, though. So, again, Mac, he's got to find the kills around the back, and he does find one. That immediately flipped the spawns around completely. Shotzzy on 6 is looking for the Hellstorm and also trying to contest this back spawn.
The Shotzzy hasn't died for like the last 2 minutes. He's just been finessing around, trying to make the plays with the SMG, and might find himself in another opportunity. That makes it now 7 in a row, make it 8. The movement king, just dancing, able to secure the spawns now for Optic Texas. Didn't look good off the rip, but when you got a player of his caliber, he's able to get things done that are not supposed to happen.
Yep, and an extra tool now earned in case things do get sloppy in the future with the Hellstorm being accrued. Kenny looking to try to shut down this back marble side pinch, and he's done well for a couple. Sib on 9 HP wants the challenge, and Kenny says, get out of my face. 3 in a row for him. Mac trying to get around the back, also shut down, and Optic are all over P4.
Flawless 60 hold, because with only 20 seconds left, Cloud9 just going to try to trap them in towards the back. But Optic Texas starting now to run away with this game. And I find ourselves going into the second half of this one. Off the rotation, it should be allowing Cloud9 to set up properly. But when you have this much of a lead and you know that they're playing super safe, Optic have already worked their way on now. A couple players are approaching over towards that pool side. Is going to make this very difficult for Cloud9 to get any early time here.
Yeah, cooler heads need to prevail here for New York. It does feel like it's getting into the world of frustration again. A couple of these challenges just feel like they're forced. Trying to follow up his Kremp. He's also off to a slow start this year, but does at least confirm the trade. Hardpoint still in the name of New York. Follow up, though, looking okay for Optic to have a chance to contest this. And Shotzzy once again around the outside, able to eliminate all of Cloud9 on the hill, leaving Sib by himself.
And now already look what Shotzi is doing. He's thinking about those spawns for next. Can he catch the timing onto Mac? Yes, he does. So now if you are Cloud9, thankfully you're able to get a couple of those kills around that middle area. So Shotzi's still going to be the lone man off the rotation. But again, he's making another play. Another one-on-one between him and Mac. This time Mac gets the better of him. So Cloud9 should secure the spawns for the next hill.
Still 10 seconds though until this hard point opens up. So there will be this continual battle.
Uh-oh.
Who can get around the back? And Mac, you see him on the third person perspective. He takes down Kenny around the outside. Follow up trying to come through for Sip, but not gonna win the 1v1 he needed to versus Pred. Optic will own the hard point and also the spawns.
And now this just only gets more difficult for Cloud9. You have to hit a couple routes, allow Optic to soak up a lot of this P1, P2 time. But hope to God that some of these kills go in your favor. That's already a clean forward dead block in the back coming in from Pred to make sure no one's getting those fishy spawns, and you're just gonna allow Shotzi to continue to roam through the front.
Just so much efficiency from the SMGs of Optic Texas, and they have an opportunity to put this well with over 100 points in the gap. So we'll take a look to listen into Optic Texas, see how they're coming through the rest of this P2.
What absolute attack?
I'm playing this time. Okay. No, close up both of me. Mac, close right door. Go back. Lay down. Mac, after that, Mac. Love baby. Shut up. Top out. He's gonna kill me. Top out. Alright, top out.
Middle and then the these are new. He's already new. Fresh street.
I'm gonna go top ammo.
Let's just go right together, lucky. You just take your time. Actually, shit. I'm playing this time, lucky. You could be tripping.
Top Dante, dead.
I'm just getting a time, lucky.
Play this time, boys. Play this
One time.
time.
I'm pot.
Top part cramp.
Lower.
Lower.
Line on me. Live, eh? I'm
He dead.
Let's go lower.
I'm holding her back. I have her back.
Spawn it earlier.
Ken, look at deep right. They can take long routes.
Alright, I'm deep right.
I think we'll catch the right. Catch the right. I hear him.
I have it. You can have it.
Let's pick up probably EG.
Lower. Back early. What's up for people on me? Mac, absolute turn.
I'm backing up, Ken.
One speed.
Yeah, deep left.
I got it.
Nice. Fucking shit.
I'm
One could get through.
Pick up right on spawn.
I'll pick up right on spawn.
I got you. You're good.
I'm blocking though.
No, deep left. One shot over Dante.
I give up right.
That's fine.
Okay.
That's good shit, eh? Pick up right.
Pick up right. Okay, deep left attach. One's at old.
I'll pick up right.
He's mid-con.
Okay, two. This is Dante. Nice. Let's go. Make sure you block them. Make sure you back and block.
Yeah, I'm backing up now.
Alright.
There's 20 bombs, by the way. There's 20 bombs.
I'm looking at this guy. They're palms on me. I'm living.
What could be Vol maybe?
Tell me right. I need help right.
I'm coming
They're all going right. I'm right down.
Unreal scenes here, Jay. I mean, Optic are having it their way. Shotzi in particular. I mean, 20-8. It's just max efficiency, life after life, as he's on another 5 spree with a chance for more in front. Dashy steals that one away. Mac giving him something to consider, but again, the help is there, and it's Optic all over the scoreboard, over 200 points.
Yeah, it's only a matter of time before Optic able to dominate in this map. Number one, only needing 47 seconds left. You still have a couple players contesting towards the back end. Pred and Kenny combined for 2. The rest of Cloud9, at least 2 players from Cloud9 spawning all the way across the map, and now you got to take down all 4 players from Optic Texas who are fighting for every single second at the end of this P4. But in the middle of that listening, you could just listen to the communication from Optic. That really was a turning point. They see like, okay, we're up 70 points. These guys got to either push us on the hill so we don't get any more time. But when they do that, it's easy for us to find those kills and then eventually flip those spawns. Yeah. This has been textbook so far from Optic.
Well, Cloud9 need to get another 17 points and avoid being one of the only teams in CDL history to be 100-point clubbed in 2 straight matches. Looking good to at least get over the 90-point mark here. Cramp has double. Very well may get them out of threat of the 100-point club, but still, the status of this map has been all green all the way.
Yeah, if I'm calling at this point, the comms that I'm giving, just make sure the guns are hot. Obviously, they came out ready to go in this map, number one. We did not win a single rotation. They could potentially find themselves winning one here over towards P2, but they're still trying to fight for this final 20. And at the same time, you have Optic Texas players like Kenny who are securing those back spawns for new, just trying to call game at the next hard point.
And Pred also did see that Kremp had tried to sneak over towards gold. A little bit of resistance here from Cloud9, looking decent through P1 on the rotation to 2. You see Optic still spawning out as P1 was still active, so they are nowhere near this hard point. Shotzi also dealt with. So, okay, now here's a chance for New York to try to give us something to at least give them some credit for. Bumping the hard point, good lockdown around the back, every route being covered, and every kill going their way.
Yeah, trying to show a little fight here. They're starting to get a read on how Optic Texas are playing this hard point, but as I say that, Pred just walks right through the front. He's able to secure one. Now the teammates are here to assist him. All surrounding around this P2. That's a clean 4 dead. Cloud9 all the way across the map, and Optic Texas can win it here.
Yeah, it just looked like one of those moments where, again, if you take a snapshot of the setup for Cloud9, everything looked perfect, but that one player inside the hill just not able to watch the front. And you mentioned it perfectly. Pred just walks on in, finds a couple of kills, flips things around, and now Optic can win the game right here. Crep tagged up just enough to allow assists to be tallied, and the final shots will ring out as Optic dominate map number 1, 250 to 130.
It's the second time we've seen them open up a hard point on this season, 250 to 130. They're amazing. When you talk about those opening HPs and when everything is going right, we're talking about the ARs winning their gunfights, the SMG setting pace, and the teamwork obviously there. You heard it from multiple different players in that listening. Okay, Dashy said I'm hard blocking. Then you had one opportunity where Shotzzy was hard blocking. Everyone has that role, and when you're playing like that, when that teamwork aspect to make the game easier for everyone on the map, that's what the scoreline is going to look at the end. Dominated rotations. When you needed breaks early on, you're able to find it. And Cloud9 just on an uphill battle the entire time on that map. You know how difficult it is, Alan, because I play rank play basically every single day. When you're trying to break into that P4, spawning all the way at gold, and there's a million ARs watching every single cross, you're just simply not going to have a good time. So they did not keep up in the slaying department, but that's due to the fact that the way that Optic was playing.
Yeah, it's just, again, the frustration that's already amounted about this series, the start being slow for just about everybody from Cloud9. It's just one of those things. It's just, you need a spark. You need it badly too, because it is one of those things. Like, if you were just to evaluate the opening schedule for Cloud9 this week, it doesn't get any harder. Again, based off the coaches poll, you're dealing with Thieves, you're dealing with Optic. I mean, I don't know what else you say. You throw Atlanta in the mix, and you're dealing with 3 of the hardest teams to play up against in an opening week in your CDL debut as Cloud9. But I think the thing about it here is just the formula is just not coming together. Even in moments when they do have good setups, we're allowing us to be broken by Pred running through the front of the hill. I mean, it's one of those things you just kind of look and scratch your head and say, well, what's happening?
Yeah, obviously we're early on into the season, so you still have teams trying to figure out what's the best way to play some of these hills, what proper angles you want to try to hold. But it just seems right now that Cloud9 have yet to figure it out in hardpoint. Remember, they are also a brand new roster. I know that Civ and Mac have a lot of chemistry together from teaming previously, but when you add a player like attached to this lineup, who usually in his recent years has been like that AR to play for his kills, but at the same time you have that in Civ. I think Nameless hit it perfectly on the head. One of those guys have to give up that role. One of those guys have to play for the kills. The other one has to be fundamentally sound, and so far, at least in hardpoint, they haven't figured it out yet.
Yeah, very much so the case. A couple of moments individually for a handful of players from Cloud9, but collectively, not many moments to look back on and feel very positive about how things were going. And I think just on the other side of things, like Shotzzy at 20-8 at one point in time, running around doing what he wants, when you've got a player who can essentially quote-unquote go rogue and find that much value and efficiency, it's just, there's not an answer for it. And you can see even Attach just kind of shaking that one off as we approach into the deeper depths of this best of 5 with a red card search and destroy coming up next.
Alan, Shotzzy went from P2 around 30 seconds left, right? Finds like a 2 or a 3 piece, then he hits the rotation over towards P3. He stays alive that entire time around the middle of the map, finds a couple kills in towards Art, and now at this point, he's alive for like 2 minutes. Can you imagine trying to locate where the hell one of these SMG players, specifically like Shotzzy, for 2 minutes long? You're sitting there like, where's Shotzzy? Where's Shotzzy? And unfortunately, you couldn't find him. He just made play after play, and I think that's going to be great for him all season long, especially with this Omni movement, because he's just able to move from one side of the map to the other in basically like 5 seconds. He's the king of movement, and he continues to show it.
Yeah, I mean, again, we've seen this from a couple of SMGs so far to this point. We saw it a little bit from 04 last game. We saw it from Real last game.
Yep.
You know, these SMGs that love to thrive in these 1v multiple situations where they can finesse their lives and become one of the most difficult kills on the map. Big maps this year. I mean, flat out, for all of our respawns, outside of Skyline, every single one of our maps we currently have in the pool is quite large compared to years prior. So it just makes those players extra difficult to kill. I know Breaking Point was going through the openings of this year and saying who was the easiest kill for certain players, who was the hardest kill for certain players. I imagine everyone's hardest kill this year is going to be these rogue SMGs like Shotzzy, like Hydra, like 04, players like that nature. Throw Sip, of course, in the mix as well. But we'll talk more about that as we continue on throughout the year, because right now we need to talk about red card search and destroy. And for Optic fans, we need to see some objective focus come through on their search.
Yeah, because when we watched them versus Boston on this map, it was just very difficult for them on the attacking side, because you try to show a little bit of presence over towards B, but all the angles that you have to hold down that site, it's not very easy to do. So early into these attacks, you don't have any trophy systems. You want to try to fight for mid-map, and we are already in a bound.
Prep just dives right on in through Ticket, able to find one, but it's immediately traded back. We stay 3v3. Cloud9 going to try to track back over towards A just a touch. Look at the route that Shotzi's taking, shutting down the entire bottom side of the map, and he may actually catch Sib, depending on what the timing of this looks like. Mac going to go for the immediate plant, but we've got 3 different floors worth of areas to explore here if you're Shotzi, and now the time starts to tick against Optic's defense.
And I don't know if Sib got a sound cue that potentially someone's coming in the elevator. I guess not, because here comes Shotzi on the pinch. He gets the info that someone's playing towards top window, and unfortunately, Sib, you just were not ready, as now it falls into Attach's hands in a 1v3.
You better have a Kobe of all Kobe's right here.
No trophy.
A long angle, checked initially. Shotzi's seen topside head, couple the hit markers are in. Pred starts to defuse. Has attached. Red this saw he had an angle at it, but Dashy helps give the cover, and there's more than enough time for Pred to finish the defuse.
Yeah, it all starts with that first kill, that first trade fight in towards Ticket. But then when Shotzi just does things that he does, hitting the super long route, catching the timing onto Sib, and at the same time his teammates catch that player that was sitting over towards stage. You turn it into a 3v1. Attach found himself in the perfect angle to potentially contest it, but too many players alive from Optic Texas as they secure the first.
Indeed the case. It's one of those moments where, again, Shotzi getting deep behind your entire defensive setup and catching you by surprise is likely going to play some mental games on you. It's just, there's so many angles you have to be considerate of if you're going to play top third like that from both teams' perspectives. But again, 2 for Shotzi, 2 for Dashy. And we go down to Optic's first offense. Kremp trying to play forward on this hedge staircase. Sib watching over the top of him as here comes the double chow from the subs of Optic, looking to get aggressive. They get a read that Sib's playing top cameras, but there's not much they can do about that right now. So now it's about trying to feel out what's around the A site.
Yeah, and this is a play that they did perfectly versus Boston. They realized, okay, you still don't have any trophy systems to work with, but Pred, unfortunately, walks right over Kremp. Thankfully, Shotzi is going to be there for the trade, but 55 seconds still to work with. Shotzi trying to take a little bit of ground away from the opposing team. But that bomb slowly but surely starting to edge his way on up.
The only player that Optic have not seen is Mac. And you can see what that's done. Dashy playing in the middle of the map, watching the long flank, knowing that Mac sometimes has the ability of just kind of going rogue. And you can see it, number 6 on the minimap starts to make his move. The rest of Cloud9 start to play forward now, seeing if they can maybe feel out where this Optic post plan is. Shots come through for Mac towards Sib. Did he just shoot at Sib?
It twisted, man. They are absolutely twisted, but so is Dashy. Great spot. So at least back down Sip for this positioning, but Attach might have caught the timing. He's able to catch Shotzi, but unfortunately the 2 players ready for that gunfight. Dashy plays his life perfectly on the pitch, watching so many angles, is at least able to take down one in Optic Texas. Secure the round again. This time it was the instant trade to turn it into a 3v3, but Cloud9 right there reacted a little bit too late for me. Like, at that point, you're realizing that they're already showing presence over towards stage. They're probably pushed up on this A site. They decide to work that pinch once that bomb gets planted. And at that point, if you're Dashy, all you're doing is playing for the info, stalling out the game clock, and they just simply run out of time to try to make a play at that A site.
Yeah, I love the idea from Optic there. Again, you had the information on Sib, you had the information on Attach. You put Sib out of the world of contest because he's all the way top window, so you just push forward, force the action to be a 1v2 for Attach. He just can't hold up to it. Dash able to watch through mid-map to make sure no flank comes through. It's a very concentrated approach, and 2 solid rounds for Optic. Kremp, similar route that he had hit in the opener. This time, though, it's countered immediately as you've got Shotzi on the full wrap. Optic swarm and deal with Cloud9 in the first 15 seconds.
Now Attach another 1v3. Can he clutch up this time around? He finds the first kill. Great shots onto the second, but he gained all the info.
Trading of the nades. Attaches will land. Attack! Oh! Had Kenny right in front of him, but could not quite land the shots. Little slide from both players, and Kenny will clutch up after the early action favored Optic at the kill feed.
And that was a pace changer right there from Optic. A whole lot of aggression over towards Ticket. Thankfully, Shotzi strikes for the first blood. It's instantly traded, but Optic put themselves early on into that numbers advantage. Now starting to run away with this search and destroy. I was thinking, you know, like Green Wall, at least last season, it took them to about, what, Major 3 to figure out S&D? Huh,
Yeah.
how about one day? So far, these strats have been working out flawlessly on red card.
Yeah, really good, confident calls, I think, is the biggest part about this. You know,
Yeah.
the first two, you're kind of putting out your playbook, but that round right there is an immediate counter what Cloud9 had tried to do in their first offensive attempt. This time, bomb being carried very diligently and slowly through mid-ticket. There are Cloud9 defensive players nearby, but Pred may have almost broke the timing on it. Mac gets 3, and now all of a sudden, you have to back off and try to reset this 3v4.
Yeah, this is a scary situation now because usually you find Optic Texas trying to be aggressive over towards Hedge, but now at round 3, some trophy systems are going to be developed, so Cloud9 can take a little bit of map control away from them. Sib strikes for 1, Sib strikes for 2 from that top window, and now it's Dashy left in a 1v3.
Dashy can be turned around here as, yep, the last player on the long flank will deal with it. Okay, good response there from Cloud9, and I think most importantly, the fact that Mac, I don't know if he catches a sound cue or just some good COD timing, but he shuts down that little play from Pred through front ticket window, and from there on out, it's just the numbers advantage plus the positioning for Cloud9. Too much to overcome.
Yeah, I think it's also the early info of Optic not really investing a lot of stuns or nades over towards Hedges. So Sib, who's sitting top window, is realizing, okay, the pressure's not on this side of the map. They have to be working over towards the B or around that mid-ticket area. And thankfully, Cloud9 had 3 players ready for those engagements to strike for that first blood. Able to put their first round on the board. Optic Texas back on the defensive end. And Cloud9 now going to approach their way over towards A.
Yeah, different look for Cloud9 here after a lot of their aggression from the subs was all focused in towards ticket. Trophy systems will keep Shotzzy safe backside of these hedges. Nades not landing in any regard. I don't even know if they got all the way to the trophy system, so that might be a very healthy support system for Shotzzy continuing to play through the middle of the map.
And now it's going to slow down the approach for Cloud9. Pred trying to use the same as Xbox. Kremp got that kill on him.
Yeah.
To potentially open up for the first blood, but it's already been 40 seconds wiped off the game clock. You have the safety net and Dashy making sure no one's being aggressive over towards B, but Kremp again gets the better of Pred for the first blood.
Good trade from Attach over the hedges, does not allow Shotzzy to get away. Kenny also sees.
Oh!
It's absolutely obliterated. Oh no! Max still sticking for the plant though. 2v2, still a post-plant setup here, but Attach has been seen as shots go his direction. Mac tries to escape towards the forklift, nothing there. And now the hunt is on for Dylan Price, and he will be found immediately. Wow, Optic looking clean.
And that entire time where Attach was just waiting for his teammate and Mac to get that objective down, Dashy had him trapped over towards stage. But the fact that Kenny is able to drop down and win that gunfight, not versus like someone who can't shoot. That's Sib on the other side. One of the best ARs that we had last season. Made that gunfight look easy, and then you just slide on in. Info already gained. Couple wall bangs as well coming in from Dashy. As Optic secure another defensive round. Now up 4-1.
I think the most impressive thing about this for Optic, you know, comparing it to their match versus Boston on this map, is that they're finding information and capitalizing on it.
Yes.
Where it felt like against Boston in particular, it was a lot of let's just try to get into gunfights and hope we win them or know that we're going to have the confidence to take them. That didn't work out. Snoopy was kind of obliterating them on this long map. Not been the case here. Much more control here as New York will actually kind of split the map 2-2. A double focus over towards B has actually gotten a good blind counter and an early 3v2 for Cloud9.
But Pred gains all that info. At least 2 players are playing over towards B, so potentially try to isolate this player at that A site, but you already have players like Slib hitting that rotation on back. Is able to take down Shotzzy. Now Pred left in a 1v3. Bomb down directly in the middle of the map. And this one's not going to be easy with this SMG in hand.
Yeah, looking to see if he can maybe line up perfect shots versus Mac. Instead, just will take the info and move on to the next thing. The other part about this, there is no real good, quiet way to go about this for Pred. Max seen once again. Glass broken. First shots are up. Pred tries to snap over towards Mac, but does not expect the other Cloud9 defender to be behind him. So a bit of a blind counter on the Cloud9 defensive setup there. Reads the Optic hit over towards B, and from there on out, numbers carry the favor.
Yeah, Max strike for the first blood. They turned it into a 4v3, and then it instantly was responded with a trade out of Optic. But then it was on Kremp. The sole man over towards that A side. He gets one and gets out with his life. And that allows his teammates to recoup their way through the middle of the map and find those final couple of kills. As Cloud9, we know that they're never out of the search and destroy. We watched them yesterday versus the Thieves. Down 5-2, fight all the way back to win it 6-5. But you just need one round at a time.
Yeah, great shout, Jay. Cloud9, same setup as their last offense. This time, no trophy here, though doesn't make a difference because the overwhelming presence of nades from Optic will be the ones to land, and now the SMGs are trying to get even a further step towards this Cloud9 setup, and they draw the line in the sand and they say, we got our first. We've also controlled the map. Let's not get too aggressive.
And now you think about how much time Cloud9 is going to waste.
Yeah.
Thinking that Optic Texas is still going to be aggressive over towards Hedge. So now they are slowly but surely working their way back over towards the 3-story. Someone trying to get top window, but all of Optic back up in the man advantage.
I love it. I think this is the immediately right call because there was a moment where you saw from Pred and Shotzi's POV that looked like they wanted to keep going. I don't know who holds them off, but you're going to have to get information here from Cloud9 where it's just so difficult to nuke. You have so many corners you have to check. Shotzi's going to see the planter through the bomb itself. Attach, good trade. And hold on a second. Sib was going to surprise Kenny, so we go from a 4v3 to a 2v2. Pred next one up. He's been spotted and tagged. Can he get away? No. And now it's just down to Dashy. He's got an angle on attach. Can he stop the plant? He also sees Sib, so he's gonna get the read on it. There's the shutdown. Bomb doesn't get planted. 8 seconds. Sib, he has to make the move. Caught on the slide. Opening shots are good, and Dashy clutches the 1v2.
Man, oh man. I thought Cloud9 gave him a run for their money. We're talking about a 4v2. You find every single player over towards that A site, but unfortunately you left the most clutch player in the 2024 season still alive. As Dashy with the trigger discipline just gains the info on the first player, realize that, okay, if that guy's there, the other guy's got to be planning. Takes care of the bomb carrier first, and then just isolates onto Sib to clutch up in the 1v2. Optic Texas, game point.
Loving what I'm seeing. Small moment of concern, but dealt with swiftly. It's Dashy, who was one of the kings of clutch from last year, still has it. Coming into Black Ops 6. Similar look for Optic in terms of approaching B, but this time the bomb is not with them. They may look to make noise and then recut back through mid. That's exactly the case, but Kremp is doing the same thing. He will be shot, tagged. Dashy can't initially, but still tracks down the kill. But in the same front, Optic's push through B has not amounted to too much success yet either.
Oh yeah, because look at the bomb. It's all the way in the opposite side of the map. They were just trying to pull the setup for Cloud9 over towards this B site, but Mac finding that double is basically going to call this round. Is now Pred left in the 1v2. The same situation with the same weapon.
Oh,
but he gets the info on both.
Yeah, he's going to have an angle here. Opening shots.
Oh, no.
He's got attach, but gets caught a little bit on the YY and the slide back. Attach holds his ground and pushes it off. And now all of a sudden, Cloud9 extending the map just a touch. But it's been this side of the bomb, Jay, that's been really concerning for Cloud9, the offense coming up.
Yeah, it's because Optic, the way that they're playing right now is a lot more teamwork oriented. As you see Mac on the replay, just the snap onto shots. You usually do not see him lose gunfights like that, but it would have definitely been an easier round for Optic Texas if they had the bomb carrier on that side, because it was the sole man of Mac at that B site. You had full control of it, but without having that bomb, you made the Optic Texas players try to work a little bit more harder to try to retrieve it.
Yeah.
As Cloud9 keep the map alive.
A little bit of a unique look here for Cloud9. We've seen some focus through Ticket. We've seen some focus over towards the outsides at A. This time it's a bit of a split. Shotzi looking for an off timing over through the stands. Past the B site, a little shoulder. Confirms that there are a couple of players nearby. Nade Cook bounced perfectly, and Sib will have to back off the angle, but will stay 4v4.
Oh, and that's got to be so annoying because you already know that Shotzi's going to go for a pinch, and you had two players trying to focus on him, and at the same time across the map, Dashy with the AR finds that first blood, and now that avenue of attack for Shotzi is open.
Yeah, Cloud9 knows that they have to try to push forward. They do get attached into a slippery spot, but he's been seen by Dashy. And now it's all on to Sib. First shot's clean. How does he get out of here, though, is the question, and the answer is he will not. Optic, immediate bounce back and adaptations on the red card and search and destroy. So much better than yesterday, 2 days ago.
Yeah, and it was all about the teamwork, man. I think it was on full display, even though it turned into a 1v2 round when Dashy had to clutch on up. You find that first blood. Everyone is aggressive over towards Hedges. You see the SMGs foaming out the mouth. They are ready to rock and roll to try to get another kill, but everyone backs on up. They played the man advantages, and that's what we didn't see out of Optic Texas on day number one. It was a lot of individual gunfights here and there. Today they said, screw that. Teamwork makes the dream work. And and they were able to dominate in this search and destroy. Only 3 first bloods to their name compared to 5, but even in a man disadvantage, those trades were instantly right there. And then you also had the clutch cheats and a couple players on the side of the green wall as well.
Huge stuff. And for Cloud9, not a lot of success on the offensive side of the bomb. We saw maybe 3 different looks out of their playbook. None of them really finding tremendous success outside of, again, that one round that it does come down to Dashy clutching up for Optic. So concerns there, I think, for Cloud9 in terms of their fluidity across the search and destroy map pool. But we've got a vault control, which, well, Jay, I don't know how else to say this besides just to say it. Every team has gotten plenty of reps on this map to this point. It's been the only control map that we've seen. So hopefully this will be a chance for Cloud9 to kind of make up for their woes from yesterday.
Yeah, I'm with Wheeler. Like, can we please get a protocol in, please? Like, Des, tell him. Wheeler, tell him something. Give me a protocol control, man.
That's what I'm saying, bro. What are we doing?
Come on.
Unbelievable, dog.
Give Wheeler a map. Give Jay a map. I'll take one too. Protocol all the way. Let's jump into this one and break down what's going wrong for New York. They are behind. We'll just say that, Alley Cat. Starting with the search and destroy, they seem to be outworked by Optic as a whole. Optic looking cleaner in that game mode.
Yeah, I mean, it's just difficult for Cloud9 because there was so much space being taken up by Optic Texas on defense that the clock kept working against them on the offenses time and time again. And by the time they were about to get the bomb down, Optic Texas, as in Dashy, was making moves, was making clutches. So for Cloud9, just they got to change the game plan on offense a little bit, make a little bit more of a change about. They kept slamming A Street, wasn't working. Maybe try something a little bit more creative. But I do have to tip the hat to Optic Texas because their S&D looked way better today.
250 to 130 in hardpoint, though. That's what I learned in the first half. Nameless, let's draw some conclusions. What do you got for us? Hi, guys.
Hey, guys. Welcome back. Yeah, let's draw some conclusions. Shift and Study can join us. Yeah, let's talk about that vault hardpoint because it was a spectacle to watch on the side of Optic Texas. Shotzzy was absolutely dominating, and let's get into the clip. So we're going to talk about good players. When you have control, they camp. Great players, they push up and they make plays, and you impose your will on the opposing squad. So let's get into this clip.
Who's the great player?
The great player is Shotzzy, as we know. He is number 2. So everybody's spawning back here, right? We're going to clear the screen there. We're going to talk a little bit about what number 2 does. So he's going to basically be pushing out and making plays because he knows everybody's spawning back here. He's going to be getting kills as they're pushing out, and he has help from his teammate who's watching this direction as well. So as he's finding those kills, he's going to be basically behind them, in front of them, everywhere, because he's retreating to help when number 1 needs help, when somebody slips through, and he's pushing up to keep them in the spawn blender as well. So it's going to look like he's wrapping back and forth, going through their lobby, back up through hall. You have to be active if you're an SMG player. You can't just camp, otherwise players will get through behind enemy lines and make plays. So let's watch what Shotzzy does here. It's pretty wild. I mean, he's just picking up kill after kill, finds one, backs up to help number 1, gets into their base. You have to be active, otherwise you let these players get close. And Shotzzy just going back and forth. He's a menace on the map.
He's so sneaky. It's like a mouse that just keeps getting away.
Oh my God, I'd be losing my mind. Could you imagine the comms right now being like, yo, Shotzi's playing our spawn, and then you're just like, where is he? Where is he? Where is he? And it's just 30 seconds of having no idea where Shotzi is.
Shot in the back again. Got shot in the back again. Shotzi's behind us. Shotzi's behind us.
Somebody please kill him.
It's because when you're spawning, you're looking forward and you're trying to find where he's at. Well, he's in gills. He's behind you, and then you got teammates that you have to deal with as well on the opposing side of Optic Texas. Not much you can do when Shotzi's running free.
Some excellent conclusions. Shotzi is very good at making your life miserable in hardpoint. He does it even more now in Black Ops 6. Things are not easy on New York, and they're not making it easier on themselves, I'm told by production. We have some clips of what's going wrong, Alec.
What's going wrong? Oh, no. I almost feel like this is a burgers and fries segment again. Not another one. This is so many times we've seen him nade himself.
This was during the whole Shotzzy going crazy moment, by the way. He didn't even get this kill. Sib nades himself, which leads to that.
You gotta, like,
that's my fantasy
with the
AR,
wrist,
by the way.
You know? Don't let it roll back on you, Sib.
He should put a Semtex on.
Honestly, let's switch it up by now. Yeah. All right, we're done. Do you guys want to talk about Game 3? Because it's ready. Go ahead,
I think
fellas.
Jay and Study want to talk about it.
Yeah, go.
It's Vault, once again.
How mad are you about that?
Study? Jay and Study.
Jay and Study. I like that, Al. Thank you, Big Al.
Yo, I just realized, by the way, I'm beating both of you in fantasy football tonight.
I'm so sorry.
Yo, listen, Celium hasn't played yet, all right?
I was gonna say I'm pretty sure I still have 3 players left to play. So
Yeah, whatever.
We'll see how that goes.
Yeah, I'm Optic.
whatever.
Y'all
I got a
over there
bench of
being
players.
Cloud9
Give
New
me a
York, I'll
second.
tell you that.
Yeah, these clowns. Get them off the screen. Let's go here. Let's focus in, friends.
Yeah.
Jay, just say things. Tell me what's going on right now. Because, I mean, here's the thing. Again, this is a tough opening schedule for anybody.
Yeah.
This Cloud9 team, though, right now, it doesn't really feel like there's an identity built, really, with anyone. I mean, I think you can look at it, and by the numbers, especially going into the control, hey, Mac has been one of their best respawn players to this point, and he took a year off. So, it's, you know, they just got to find something. Again, we need that spark if you're Cloud9 to get something brewing, because it's a tough opening schedule, and nothing's really gone right for him yet.
Yeah, it's very tough because you're talking about going up against the world champs in your second series, and in your first series, you probably go up against the best team currently in the game. So that's 1 and 2. It doesn't get any easier when you're a brand new roster form trying to figure out what kind of identity we are going to have. Is it going to be through the respawns? Is it going to be through the search? And right now, they have yet to figure out in either of those categories. So now with your backs against the wall, going into a vault control once again, we've only seen it the entire time this weekend. You need to try to figure it out, at least in the slaying department, because that's always going to help you. If you can get a couple kills, you should be able to get on this point.
Absolutely the case. And, well, it's going to be a full flood from top catwalk. That's good for Sib to find first blood. Optic trying to receive this hit onto A, largely through B Street. Mac is going to put a pause on the clock, step on the A zone, get to work on the first tick of progress. Sib trying to assist, loses track of Fred, but the information is good. Mac, okay, how about it? Nice little opening double, and Mac should be able to confirm at least the first tick here.
Yeah, but now they're trying to locate where's Shots, and we haven't seen him so far in the beginning of this map. He's going to get one and get out with his life. As that second segment is still getting worked on, but you can already see what Prep is trying to do over towards Art. You're focusing in this position to try to draw a couple players from Optic Texas on this side of the map, but when you jump out the window and give that free kill to Dashy, all progression gets shut down as that second segment, working on the third, is about to potentially come in. No, get shut down.
Kremp able to at least keep the offensive spawn safe. Attach looking to make a mess of the Optic spawn. Ooh, good read from Dashy, but Attach survives with 9 HP. Just trying to create some separation. The rest of Cloud9 working off spawn, trying to get this third tick of progression done, and still no one's seen Shotzzy. And that has to be the concern. You can see Kremp is like, he could be anywhere. This is just timing, and well, there he is, found him, and then he's gone. He's out like a blink of an eye.
And I love how Optic were trying to completely disregard Attach in towards top Art. They're trying to retake over through the middle of the map, but that decision gets made for them. You have to approach over towards B because you have all of Cloud9 working their way up through B Street, but Shotzzy finds a double that now allows the teammates to come off the respawn, throw a couple attacks to get him off of that B point. That's 3 seconds earned for Cloud9.
Yeah, and the refocus coming off spawn is straight over towards A to get this third tick done. Kenny's double limits this approach pretty decently. Pred follows up, and that's going to be a full wipe off the Cloud9 offense. 25 seconds to play. 15 plays 15, and Cloud9 have to be thinking, we got to get to A, give ourselves an extra 60, and maybe not enough.
Yeah, that was a big first kill on the Shotzzy, an even bigger kill right there out of Kremp. That now leaves to 3, make it all 4 dead. So Cloud9 should not have an issue extending this game clock by an extra minute. And they are also currently up by 3 lives. With a lot of map control to go their way. So this is a big moment in this game. Who can come out on top in the trades?
13v9, Shotzzy around the back, make sure that the clock keeps ticking. That could be the biggest ally here for the Green Wall. Under 60 seconds to play. Shotzzy seems to have an idea that maybe Attach had gotten through, but instead finds Mac. Pred, I'm sure, gave the comms of, I got Attached, don't worry about him, and it's 3-0 on the exchange. Kremp trying to get through, but not going to be allowed to, as Optic have brought this back to within a 1 life gap.
Yeah, that lives remaining diminishes instantly out of the teamwork of Optic Texas. Now with 35 seconds, all of Cloud9 coming off the respawn. You are forced to hit this overextension. You do not want to work your way up through that B Street. And that's only going to allow the game clock to continue to wind down.
Mac trying to get around the back, not going to be allowed to. 6v5. Cloud9 still holding a bit of an edge, but again, the clock, it keeps on ticking. Under 18 seconds. Dashy over through B Street, only finds 1. Double from Sib, allows Kremp a chance to get on, and he turns that into a kill on top of that. 2v4 situation, still on 18 seconds. Second tick of progress is on the way. Kremp follows up with an elimination, and now it's just down to Shotzzy, who will fall. Hard to say if that second tick got locked or not. It was close. Okay, and I'll take your word on that one, as Cloud9 will take the offense, though.
Yeah, 20/20 vision right there, Alan. I saw a little slither of gray at the ending of that second segment, so Cloud9 walk away with the attack, and that's great to start off the map like this, because obviously I think early into controls, what we've seen it all weekend long is that attacks have a lot more success when trophy systems are not in their back pocket.
Yeah,
it's kind of weird because you're thinking, okay, over towards B, all these nades as soon as we jump on the point are gonna get invested, but when you have the map control to go with it, you don't even have to worry about the frags coming over the top. As Cloud9 took advantage of the situations Optic were going to give them. I thought once Optic had a clean forward dead, Shotzzy should have just stayed alive in towards gold, but he goes out for the chow, and at that time, 3 players dropped for Optic Texas. That allowed Cloud9 to secure the first round.
Well, trophies have been earned now. Optic going to use one to keep them safe on this initial surge in towards the A zone, and Shotzzy will just push through, delete the trophy of Cloud9, and once again, just get out of there. Attached, looking to come around the backside. Not going to happen as Pred tracks him the whole way. And the first tick will surely be completed here for Optic, if not more.
First segment trying to get work done on towards A, but now you have to put your focus on what Kremp is doing behind enemy lines. He's just blocking that spawn, forcing all of Optic Texas to work that overextension up through B Street, but it's an all-out mix fest. And again, Shotzzy somehow, some way with an SMG pushes on up and already finds himself in towards Art.
Couple of shots on the cross. Stun will also
Hello.
place, but Sib doesn't matter. The extra help from his own nade works out nicely, and Shotzzy is a cat with 9 lives right now. Mac on the hunt, seen over through the rafters. No idea where he's gone to. I feel like we're going to be having this perspective on our screens a lot this year, Jay, because oh my goodness, he is the most impossible kill in the server right now.
Just can't keep track of him, man. He keeps getting lost. And when an SMG of his caliber is getting lost, you're just simply not going to have a good time. As that progression already working its way quickly up for that second segment. That's already 3 dead in the feed. Shotzzy on 5 in a row. B is now going to be able to be done. Time is going to be extended, and Optic now find themselves up by 7 lives.
Indeed the case. The only thing you could really wish for right now for Optic is to at least tie the tick count, because this looks like around that is pretty much a guarantee, especially with the life count being where it is. Cloud9 have a lot of work to do. Mac, at least, again, able to keep them off of A. Sib's going to step up to deplete some of the progress done here, and hold on a second. Cloud9 are starting to battle back in a pretty critical moment of this map.
Oh yeah, it's just completely disregarding the positioning out of Shotzzy, trying to put their sole focus on the rest of the players. But Shotzzy eventually realized, okay, I got to go back and help my team. Now he finds that kill, 15-8, make it 15-7 in lives remaining. Potential double stack going to be in towards A as that first segment is getting worked on.
14 plays 7, Cloud9 working on the recovery of the A zone. Good opener from Sib, traded by Shotzzy. No one can track him down, so once again, the focus for Cloud9 will largely be over the top of this A zone. Shotzzy makes his presence known, jumping on the zone. A little bit of assistance with him as Kenny was stacked with him. That'll be enough for the first tick of progress, and the eliminations behind that make this a 12v3. And now it's just down to, will Cloud9 try to bum rush this and see if they could maybe just get one more heroic effort, but not gonna happen. 11v1, that'll be the final shot, but it doesn't come until after the second tick had been locked.
Yeah, and if you're Cloud9, you just cannot allow Shotzzy to do those kind of things versus you. Because when you're coming off the respawn, okay, it's cool, everybody's disregarding him, but eventually he's going to put himself back into the play. He just caused so much problem in the beginning of that round, allowed his team to go up by, what, 7 to 8 lives by just roaming around Art? And that just made it easier for them, because once you capture the more difficult point in B, you just need 1 set of kills to work your way in towards A. They did not earn that final segment. They're only going to get 5 done, but that's Optic Texas just absolutely dominating on that attacking rounds. Cloud9, again, just like in that first respawn, lose track of Shotzzy.
He's going to have a KD that is going to frighten people by the end of this series.
He might be in the history books, World Guinness record. Like, I'm telling you, that guy's putting on a clinic all year.
21-8 through 2 rounds to this point. Mac not going to be able to do much besides just get the first. Cramp back over towards the B zone. Looking for another
big win
snap from Cramp. Big moment for him, looking to get deeper in towards gold and Art, but not going to happen. Kenny will respond with a double of his own, and there will be no further progress for Cloud9 on this B zone.
Yeah, that push gets shut down. Cramp with a magnificent 2-piece, with Kenny responding with 2 of his own. It's not going to force the Cloud9 to hit that reset button on their playbook. Try to work over towards that B Street, and now when you're trying to wrap back over towards Pool, you got Pred sitting nice and comfy in there. He's able to catch a double. It's only 45 seconds to work with. Not a single segment earned to their name, but 3 kills go in their favor. Now you can stop that time at A.
Yeah, Mac trying to pull off his best Shotzzy impression and get lost through the map. Good for 3. Has an idea that Shotzi's playing bottom side vault and says no need to chase him. He's already gone. Dashy, after the stun comes out, slides over, finds the trade back. Again, no more progress being made. And further than that, Optic will get over towards the Cloud9 spawns. Good shutdown from Sid, but still more damage to be dealt here. It's only 25 seconds to fight for Cloud9's offense.
All right, Cloud9 do find a couple kills, though. The bad thing is, though, that they are still on their side of the spawn. So Optic Texas are going to have a little bit of time to work their way back over towards that middle map. Dashy strikes her first. He's going to put himself in a position over towards double doors, making sure no one's going over towards A, and now the pounce is here at this A point.
Zip, nice moment here from him, trying to get back towards an even stat line. 13.7 is where the clock will stop. Shotzi, again, gets a kill, gets away. No one wants to chow him. He's going to be off the regen, and then as soon as he does, he hops right back into the point. Are we joking? This kid is a monster. And now he's all of a sudden in enemy territory. Not going to make much of a difference. There's not going to be an extra 60 seconds for Cloud9 to work with. And oh my goodness, are we kidding?
He can't keep getting away with this, Alan. What's that meme? He cannot keep getting away with this.
Seriously.
Shotzi is doing anything that he wants on the map right now. We're talking about 3 players dropping on his side. He's the only player to potentially contest A from being captured and time being extended. He flies on in, gets one. Okay, you think job done? Nope, I'm gonna wait for my health to regen a little bit, hit Sid with a stun to force him to think that I'm going right or left, and then slide my way right back on in to find that kill. Like, it's unreal, the playmaking ability of this young man, because every single time you think he stands no chance, he somehow, some way pulls something out of his behind and gets it done. As now Optic secured the defensive round, only allowed 2 segments to get away from them, so you got 1 more to make up on this attacking side, but they might just want to close it out here with the way that this young man is playing.
Yeah, it sure feels that way. 27.
Oh, Kobe!
Finally, we got a shutdown of Shotzi. Damage mitigated before it could even happen. Cloud9, what's the next step here? They'll take care of Kenny over towards B Street. Fred looking for something cheeky over towards B, but that's also shut down, and here we go. 4 for 1, the opening exchange. Cloud9 trying to force Optic back deeper into their spawn, but it's Kenny and Shotzi that open up space to get onto B immediately.
And now they have all their angles cut. You have it, both SMGs watching those mid lane areas, 1 through vault, 1 through double doors. That's already 2 dead. You know, at least 1 player still sitting over towards top part. And this is beautiful again out of Optic Texas. Not a trophy system in sight, but they are continuously working up this progression over towards B as first segment gets complete.
That will tie the tick count if we do go to a 5th round. New York, nice little resurgence here though on the defensive end. Still hold a bit of a life lead. Pred, AR in hand, trying to find where Kremp has gone. And he will not be able to track him down in time. So here we go. Again, Cloud9 looking much better here on their defense. Just down to can they actually stop any more progress from happening?
Man, Kremp is making their life a living hell. He's just staying alive over at that P2 area, forcing all of Optic Texas continuously to spawn over towards gold. You gain the info. Now Dash is going to try to slide with the pistol to chow, but there's 2 players there. So Cloud9 doing what they need to do on the defensive end, but 3 go down at the wrong time. Now Optic have a little presence around this mid-map at A.
Yeah, a little bit of a double stack in for a moment. Pred and Shotzi working on this first tick at A. It will be locked. That will be the defensive advantage for Optic in round 5. Can they just put it away here, though? Second tick of progress lock. More elimination still coming through for the green wall.
Hello!
Let's see! Wow! 32 and 16! Just slides through and rips Mac's head off, and now he's in your spawn. He does get shut down, but the damage has been dealt as an extra 60 seconds gets added to the clock.
Yeah, thankfully Kremp was able to find that trade, because if Shotzi would have did what he did in that previous attacking round, just playing his life as beautifully as he did over towards Art, that would have been the round right there. Now Optic Texas with a minute to work with, up by 2 lives. Little bit of map control presence from their SMGs. You have Shotzi going on another pinch. Unfortunately, does get cut down. And now if you are Cloud9, you just got to hold strong.
Maybe easier said than done. Good nade over the top from Civ as he gets over towards the balconies at Art. Kenny in trouble, dealt with swiftly. The follow-up good from Mac. Again, he has really been a resurgence in terms of his ability to take a year off, come right back in and hang with the best. He's looked solid. But still, 8v7, 35 seconds on the clock. This is not done yet. New York giving themselves some advantages, but work to be done as they need to track down Dashy.
5v6. Basically a round of search and destroy here. As Mac is able to get the better of Dashy. No more respawns now for the green wall. As this is going to be their last push, but Kremp finds 1. Pred and Dashy combine for 2, make it 3, and this is a scary moment. Optic still got a chance.
Oh, and Max giving away his position. A couple of trail shots towards Shotzzy.
Oh no.
Yeah, he's a bit of a threat. And now here comes Shotzzy around the back. He knows the defense is right in front of him. Oh, weird moment through the door, but Sip still gets shut down. It's just Attach, last one left. Clock is ticking though. Someone's got to touch. 1.3. Attach for the 1v2. Seen by Shotzzy through the doors. Has time to try to make his way back over to the zone, but Shotzzy goes unnoticed, and Optic will find the final kill and take the series.
Man, oh man. Even when you think Optic Texas with 15 seconds left, they go 3 dead. They somehow, some way work their way out of the spawn. They're able to put the kills back into their advantage. I would have loved to just see Cloud9 just take a chill pill there. There's no reason why we have positionings around that minimap area, positionings around gold, and we are challenging those gunfights with not that many to play with. You allowed Optic Texas to clutch up in those one-on-ones. No more respawns on your side, and then when you have the players coming off the respawn, you have to already worry about Shotzzy in your base. That's just not the way you want to close out that map if you're Cloud9. We probably definitely should have went to round number 5. But they're world champions for a reason. Even when you think they have no chance, they're still going to be able to pull it out. Shotzzy was the MVP of that map, but Pred with that third AR.